Please welcome the Rockettes.
The world-famous Radio City Rockettes, the superstars of the dance world, made up of some of the best dancers on the planet, and one of their own is now teaching the students of Sacred Heart. Sally Hong danced as a Rockette for 6 years and is now teaching the Christmas Spectacular to the Kickline team here at SHU. Sally never dreamt of being a Rockette, but when an opportunity presented itself, she rose to the occasion.
I'm not sure I necessarily dreamed of becoming one when I was little. I was born in Hong Kong, and I wasn't exposed to who the Rockettes were until 11 years old. I immigrated to California, and I saw the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade on TV. And the Radio City Rockettes were there, and I was inspired. I had never seen anything like it. And in the following years, they came out in their Santa outfits, and they were very glamorous and precise, and I always admired that. But I never knew that I would be good enough to be part of them until I auditioned. There was a notice in the newspaper. Radio City was doing an auditioning tour where they would go to 5 states in America, and I showed up. There was press everywhere. I piled all my hair on my head to be as tall as possible because the minimum height, I believe, was 5'6". 5'6" was the minimum, and I was a little shorter. So I piled everything up, and the producer looked at me and laughed and said, "You're gonna have to take all of that down." I auditioned, and I got accepted, and that was 1996. I loved meeting the public. One night, there was a little girl watching, and she didn't smile or anything, and we walked through the audience at the end of Nativity. It was between shows. I came out, and the family was waiting to meet me. Lucky I came out, because sometimes I don't come out between shows, but the little girl who was so quiet, and the parents said, "Oh, we loved it, and we loved watching you, and it looked like you were performing for us." As I was leaving, she said, "I kept looking where you were," and I thought, oh, and I wrote in her program, "I hope to work with you someday."
But for Sally, one of the biggest thrills of her early career as a Rockette was appearing on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
The Rockettes were on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno twice, and it was the second one. I was stage right end girl. By the way, the end girls are the shortest girls, and the tallest girls are in the center, so from a distance we look like we're all the same height. So I was right by the camera, and I got a lot of airtime, and we had these little sticks that we played the xylophone with, but you didn't know that in the beginning. You just thought it was a prop. And they had these Christmas trees on the set, about 4 tiny little Christmas trees. And when I went to swing it, I hit the Christmas tree in the back. So it was a trick that luckily I was off camera when I hit it, because I lost it for a bit, but I caught it for the time when the camera swung back to me, and it looked perfect. I am currently teaching at Notre Dame Catholic High School in Fairfield, so that's right across the street. And one of my friends, Jason Marquette, posted on Facebook that Sacred Heart was looking for a tap teacher. So I emailed the Director of Performing Arts, and Jerry emailed me back, and I'm thinking for an interview, but he emailed me back and said, "Can you start next week?" So flash forward, here we are, and I'm teaching kickline, theater dance. I'm also teaching guard, winter guard, and next semester I'll be teaching theater dance too.
We asked Sally what it's like to teach the Kickline team, a piece she performed for 6 years.
It is an honor, and it's wonderful to revisit that part of my life that I haven't touched in so long. It's very different, I believe, from what they're used to. Rockettes are famous for their kickline, but it's different in that we do it for precision, and it's usually eye-high kicks, and there's a lot of dancing in between and before the kickline. So I think it was an eye-opener for a lot of my girls. It was an eye-opener for me too. Still a lot of fun, and if I could expand their vocabulary of dance and kicks and different choices of movement, especially in formations and moving in between formations, then I think I've done a good job. The number that the kickline ladies wanted me to teach them is the most difficult number that the Rockettes, I believe, have ever done, because it's very tricky. And not only is it tricky, the kicks come at the end of the number when you're most tired. Your lungs are on fire, your legs feel like lead, and your body's ready to quit. And now you have to smile and do these eye-high kicks. but I believe it's also immensely rewarding, and I am so very, very proud of them and their hard work. The theme for the show is Winter Light, and I came in, I spliced 3 songs together. Someone said, well, what's some of the stuff that you did as a Rockette? And I showed them Christmas in New York, and they all said, that's what I want to learn. I want to do that. And I said, okay. But I don't think they knew how difficult it was when they said that. It's actually more nerve-wracking for me to be the teacher or the choreographer because I don't have control over them. I always got nervous before a show, but I welcomed it. I was never scared of being nervous. It's not a bad thing because you want to be nervous. You can use that energy and put it into your number. It's been a very great, challenging fall semester. So in addition to that, I'm trying to be, friend, wife, mother, all of that, and juggling everything. So it's a learning experience for me too. And hopefully as the years go by, if I'm still around, I can iron out all the creases and excel.
Aiden Whalen and Melissa O'Rourke, Sacred Heart News, Fairfield.